I'm Dr. Robert Wake. I'm the chairman and the program director for the Department of Urology at the University of Tennessee Health Science Center in Memphis, Tennessee. We're making this video here in an effort to try to give the students that are applying to this program some idea of what our program offers. We know that all the programs are outstanding. We know that the core curriculum and the case volumes are all mandated by the Residency Review Committee, so it's going to be great training wherever you go. What we'd like to, or attempt to do through this video interaction, is to let you know what we think the strengths of our program are and why you should choose us.
I think our program has many strengths. The independence of the urology residents and the OR. I think we have several good hospital partners that allow the residents to operate independently as long as staff is available in the room or on site. And unlike some programs, you're not relegated to being like an assistant for your first 3 to 4 years. You're actually in the OR doing procedures.
Yeah, Memphis is a unique place, especially the type of practice that you'll find as a resident. It's a high volume center. Every hospital has a very, very busy practice, and patients come from all walks of life.
From a training perspective, there's a wide variety. We have a very, very strong pediatric program. We have a very strong trauma program here with a lot of autonomy that the residents are offered, so it's a good learning perspective surgically.
You could be at Le Bonheur one day and then you could be at the VA the next, and so you see all walks of life, all different age groups. It's a great training experience there.
We do think we're a busy program, and I think we are. We have an association with a Level 1 Trauma Center, which gives great experience for urology trauma. And that's where we get a lot of independent surgery experience.
We have a tremendous surgical case volume, so the residents actually get to learn to operate when they come here. You can't just watch surgery and then say you can do it. You actually have to watch it, assist somebody, then do it, have them assist you, and then you've got to be able to actually do it yourself, and then the ultimate is teaching somebody else.
You know, just the other day I did a ureterostomy for a patient who had a gunshot wound to the ureter, and I did it with my 4th-year resident. We did it by ourselves.
I got to do the majority of the case, and you know, the chief was doing a great job of, like, she felt confident, and then that gave me confidence.
And it's just a really great feeling, like knowing that you can do that, you can accomplish it.
It really was kind of like this aha moment, like, man, I can do this, and I'm going to be ready, you know, when I'm in her shoes next year. And it's showing me like I will be a very well-trained urologist when it's all said and done. And
I think that's the experience you leave with. You feel comfortable doing these big operations.
When I was looking at programs, the most important thing to me was kind of the culture of the program. I knew that every urology program would, you know, give me the tools to be a good surgeon, and that I would be able to be a urologist in the rest of my life. So that wasn't as big of a concern because they're all great programs. But I wanted somewhere that I knew I would be happy and where I would really feel like a part of a community.
You know, Dr. Wake always says this program has a family vibe, and that's 100% true, and you sort of feel that immediately when you get to the program.
So I was looking for a program that, you know, all the residents kind of cared about each other and supported each other. And when I came on my interview here, that was one of the first things I noticed, was that all the residents seemed like a big giant family. And since I've been here, it's like exceeded my expectations.
You know, I think you learn better if you're surrounded by people who are nice to you.
It's a very friendly atmosphere. Every day I learn something new. And my interactions with the attendings that have taught me things every day, just about simple things that help me greatly.
I'm really glad that I can say that that initial feeling that I had, that it was a family and that I felt at home, has really come to be true.
It's definitely a family environment. All of our core residents, we see each other as friends, but more so as brothers and sisters. We're really there when we need each other. Because, you know, residency, it's a tough time.
You spend more time with your co-residents than you do with anybody else, even your actual family. And so for me, it was important that I had people who not only I could rely on at work, but who I enjoyed being around and spending that time with, because 5 years is no insignificant amount of time. So it was really important to me to find that, and I definitely did.
I've made some of the best friends that I wasn't expecting to make.
We all support each other. It's not a competitive atmosphere where we're trying to one-up each other. Everyone's working together.
If one person does well on the in-service and everybody else doesn't, it doesn't really do us any good. We want to lift out and help the person that's struggling, whether it be the in-service or surgical cases or patient care or whatever. We're here to help each other.
It does feel like a home, and it's kind of like your second family.
The sense of family here is true. It's not something that we kind of have to put on. It's genuine. All of the residents really pride themselves in that, and we want to continue that. It's a big part of our program.
I enjoy this job so much because I love the people that I work with every single day. Right? Every program in this country is certified by the ACGME. They're going to train you. But the best part about 5 years is if you enjoy your job, and that's usually, at least I've found, the people that you work with that make it enjoyable.
I think if you're going to spend 5 years of your life somewhere, you have to like the people who are there and you have to enjoy your time. And this program gave me that, and I think everyone who comes here feels that way.
Dr. Wake has always stressed that he wanted this to be a family atmosphere. And within families, families squabble, families fuss, but that's all internal. And then once we get outside these doors, we're one united front to support our residents, to develop them, protect them, look after them, and then to enjoy their success once they leave here.
The biggest difference I think we have here, on paper we may be equal to a lot of programs, but our big strength really is our working relationship with residents and our atmosphere with staff and residents. I think that's something that you don't get at most places.
Our trainees are fully respected by the people who are doing the training. We look at ourselves as an integrated group.
The faculty, obviously, they're our bosses and we have a lot of respect for them, but they also, are interested in our lives and us as human beings, and they provide us a lot of guidance.
I personally have a passion about pouring into the resident education and making sure that they are heard and listened to and that they feel appreciated and fully integrated into this program.
All of them, they're all together with one goal, and is resident teaching and having the ability for us to grow and to become a successful urologist.
Residents feel that they're part of a team, not part of a ladder of power in our program. And there are many times that the team almost becomes family. People truly enjoy working together and being part of each other's careers and part of each other's lives, both in the hospital and outside of the hospital.
But I think the culture is imbued with respect for each other's.
It's our job to take somebody from knowing nothing about urology to being a competent urologist by the time we're done. And the only way that we can accomplish that is with the philosophy of graduated autonomy. So each resident comes to us at a different place when they're on our rotation in pediatric urology. Everyone has different skill sets. We get them at different points in their training. And it's our job to meet them where they are and to grow them where they need to be.
We never want the residents to feel that they're operating alone or that they don't have the support or the backup immediately available right at their hand or by their phone call or whatever they need.
I don't feel like I'm under a microscope. I feel like I have enough autonomy to make my own decisions and learn, while enough supervision to where if I need help, then it's right there for me.
Our faculty do a really good job of each year letting us have more and more autonomy. By the time you get to be a chief, you're for the most part walking the junior residents through these cases.
There's always a staff on call, but if for some reason that staff didn't answer the phone right away, Dr. Wake's always told the residents you can call any staff. You can call Dr. Wake, he's the backup for everybody. So, if it's a storm and the cell phones are out or something, there's always technological issues that can happen. But the whole point of that is residents always feel free to call staff or to ask staff about any patient.
They're basically available anytime to talk with them. They have kind of an open door policy. I've called Dr. Wake in the middle of the night before when he's not even on call. And he's always willing to hear about patients and staff consults, and that's really the experience with all of our faculty here.
I think the biggest thing to describe Dr. Wake is he's an advocate for his residents.
I've always felt that our strongest suit is our chairman. We have a chairman who's 100% devoted to this department. He is 100% committed to it. He spends all his time and efforts in building a better department and trying to turn out the best product we can.
He always goes above and beyond whatever is needed as a program director for us as residents, whether it's adjusting the call schedule or changing our didactics if we feel there's something that we could take advantage of, or new guidelines to cover, whatever it may be. He always has an open ear and is able to kind of adjust things and be flexible so that way we can get the most out of our training.
Dr. Wake is also very cognizant of the fact that residents need to have a quality of life outside of urology, and although you're here for 4 to 5 years to learn and to do as much training and education you can, we also want you to have a life outside of that so you don't become, burned out would be the psychology term, but so you don't kind of regret that you're working all the time and you're missing your children or you're missing your wife or your family. You still have plenty of time to have a life outside of your profession.
But, we do have a lot of free time in our program, which is nice. We take call essentially 1 out of every 3 weeks. So you're getting 2 weekends off in that set of 3. And so there's always something to do. We love having fun together.
I work real hard, but I do have time, even after work on the weekdays sometimes to grab dinner with friends.
Some of the chief residents that just left, every Friday night they had people over, they had pizza. We would just hang out and kind of vent about the week and just relax.
We go to Dr. Patterson's and Dr. Wake's once a year for a big party, and it's a lot of fun.
You're here for training, but you're here for 5 years, and so it's important to love the place that you live, and Memphis is an easy place to love.
Being from New England and outside of Boston, I didn't have a lot of expectations for Memphis, but I like it here a lot. It's definitely better than I expected.
There's always something going on, and it usually revolves around food and music, which is something I like.
Memphis has a lot of really great food, a lot of really great concert venues. Memphis in May is a really big draw.
There's a lot of history in Memphis. There's a lot of things to do in Memphis. I love music, so that was a big attraction to me.
Everybody knows Graceland. Graceland was actually a land that was purchased and the house was built by the first chairman of urology here at the University of Tennessee, Dr. T.D. Moore. He and his wife built it, and Dr. Moore named the place Graceland after his wife's aunt, Gracie, and that's where it got its name. And then in 1958, he sold it to Elvis Presley.
There's so much character and so much soul, and there's something for everyone in town.
One of the greatest things about Memphis, as far as living here, it's a very livable city.
It's a very comfortable place. We have a lot of the amenities of some of the very larger cities. We have a very inexpensive standard of living. Housing and utilities are cheap. Most of our residents own their own homes while they're here.
There's no state tax in Memphis. People that come here find out they can really get a lot of house for less money, so a lot of the residents like to invest in the house for the 5 years they're here because they can actually sell it and get their money back or make a profit.
Oh my God, the cost of living here is so cheap.
My husband and I were able to buy a house on just my residence salary. He goes to law school here, and we are able to live very comfortably in a really lovely neighborhood.
So I actually have a 2.5 bedroom townhouse, and I was just like, I need to live here. This is perfect.
I think the biggest thing that I would say for anyone watching this video is that you are in a tough position, and we kind of all understand that.
We really are, I think, are going to miss the opportunity to let applicants come and see what it's like to spend some time with our residents. That was always one of the highlights, and actually sold many of the ones that are here on the program. was to be here and actually experience some of that family feeling.
The virtual interviews are new to all of us, including the applicants. They're just as nervous as we are. They think they're nervous and we're not. We're just as nervous as they are. We're just as frustrated as they are, and we understand that, so we're not going to hold any of that against them, but we're just going to do the very best we can do to put on a good interview and to get a good interaction with them, and then hope that this system prevails and this works out. We don't really have any other options, really.
I just hope that all of these efforts can give people a sense of what the program is like.
I'm Trish Phelan. I am the Residency Program Manager with the University of Tennessee Health Science Center, Department of Urology. So when you apply to our program, I'm the person that will be your point of contact, the first voice that you hear, and the first email communication that you get. And then I will help guide you through the process and through the interviews and the match. If you match with our program, we'll be spending a lot of time together over the next 5 years. We'll get to know each other very well, and all of the residents here become like my children to me.
It's been challenging. I won't deny it wasn't easy, but it was more rewarding than challenging. I was able to take care of people and learn the skills that I wanted to learn to succeed in practice.
It's just been, 5 years of a completely life-changing event, and I've become like a stronger human being, a capable doctor, made lifelong friends, and something I won't forget.
Overall, I am thrilled with the program. If I could go back and do it again, I would pick this program.
I'm very proud to be in this program, very grateful to be at UTHSC, and very grateful for my urology family.
It's definitely bittersweet. I will miss all the friends I've made here. I'll miss this program, and I'll miss Memphis.